Speak now to the municipality, and the member of the mayoral committee in Emfuleni for finance is Councillor Hassan Mako from the ANC. Councillor Mako, good morning to you, and thank you very much indeed for your time. Firstly, what is the financial situation of your municipality? Clearly, if you are not paying rent, you don't have enough money.
Good morning, Stephen, and good morning to your viewers at home, and thank you for having me on your show. Well, firstly, let me give background with regards to the comments of the gentlemen that were interviewed by Ziniko. It is not true that all our properties are closed. It is one of those unfortunate situations whereby yesterday the landlord had closed the offices in Vanderbilt Park, customer care offices, as a result of non-payment. And this is as a result of our account being attached by Rainwater. Our account has been attached for 2 months now. We have made several requests through our IGR platforms for us to be able to access the municipal account, for us to pay some of the critical service providers, including rental. You would know that our debt with Rainwater has grown to about 1.7 billion, and as a result, Rainwater decided to apply its credit control measures, which I believe, and as a municipality, we believe that it was just unfortunate. There were other means that we could have utilized, at least between two spheres of government, so that at least production continues to happen in the municipality.
Councillor, let me just interrupt you there. I'm sure Rainwater asked you and asked you and asked you for money that you owed them. I don't think they did this lightly, and for that to happen, a judge would have had to agree to it. So let me make a broader point. People in Emfuleni tell us they're paying their bills to you. What on earth has the council been doing with the money all these years?
Let me also be frank and honest with you. We are sitting with about 57% of unemployment in the Val. And 40% is those that are employed. And of the 40%, it's only 25% of the residents that are paying for their municipal rates and taxes, which is not also sufficient for the municipality to run from time to time, including paying our big creditors such as Eskom and Rainwater. Yes, you are correct that Rainwater has been pleading with us to pay. That is why, as a municipality, we said, Rainwater, we cannot afford. However, let us enter into a partnership. That is why we, as a council, approved the special purpose vehicle for us and Rainwater to work together to be able to collect the debts that are due to the municipality and Rainwater. And there is a headway in as far as that is concerned. We have had interactions, and we believe that the attachment with Rainwater will be a thing of the past in the near future.
So, Councillor, I mean, I appreciate that you are in a municipality with what's called a low revenue base, and that's really what you're describing, I suppose, is that you're in an area with very high unemployment. It's also an area which is deindustrialized, which is partly responsible for that. But all of this was known for a long time. There were things that Emfuleni could do. They could go to national government and ask for a bigger grant. They could go to the province. They could go to the province and ask for... I'm not sure if someone's interrupting you, or if you could go and ask for help from other people. But what we hear is that the council has not been managing its money properly. So let me put it to you more directly. Has Emfuleni been managing its money properly?
Well, there has been some financial mismanagement, and that is why you'd remember that in 2018, the community did, the Gauteng provincial government did put us under administration. And as a result, even as we speak, we're under the financial recovery plan, under the leadership of MEC Maile, to tick some of the boxes of our finances. And like I've indicated, that there is headway in as far as that is concerned. And there is light at the end of the tunnel. That is why we have came up with specific interventions. There's the distribution agency agreement with Eskom, and now we are establishing a special purpose vehicle which will improve the municipality's balance sheet moving forward.
How will that special purpose vehicle work? You're not going to get any more money from residents from what you say, and yet your debt is very high. I mean, where's the money going to come from then?
The special purpose vehicle between Rainwater and Emfuleni will work in a form of a partnership whereby we will be able to go and borrow money from the World Bank for us to improve our infrastructure. That's a first. And that on its own will mean that the debt owed to Rainwater will therefore come through the special purpose vehicle, which will mean that the municipality does no longer have those high debtors. You would remember that we're also in the debt relief program, whereby we have also been able to write off 1.9 billion of the debt owed to ESCOM. And like I've said, that this means that there is headway in as far as what we're doing is concerned as a municipality.
You're the person who is the member of the Mayoral Committee for Finance. So in a way, Councillor Mako, this is your problem. You have to carry the can. You're responsible for it. You've been appointed to this position by the mayor. There are long-term problems in Emfuleni. I mean, as you say, this goes all the way back to 2018. What is the plan to fix these problems over the longer term? I accept that you don't get as much money as you need because you have a low revenue base. I completely accept that. Many councils in this country have exactly the same problem. Is there any way in which you can see Emfuleni standing on its own 2 feet financially in the next couple of years?
We are trying to re-stimulate the economy. There is the Vaal River City development, which is happening. You would remember that as this administration, when we came through, we did approve land for a special economic zone to be established in the area, and billions of investments will be coming through. And of course, there is the Vaal Airport that will be coming through in 2027, 2028. That on its own, those particular economic activities will bring in people into the employee. And that will mean that people will now be able to get paid, and they will also be able to pay for their municipal rates and taxes.
Is there corruption in your council? Are people misspending money? Are people getting contracts and giving contracts to friends? So, for example, that you end up renting property when you should be buying property?
Unfortunately, Stephen, corruption is reported at the law enforcement offices. And we need to give law enforcement officers a space for them to operate. Unfortunately, I will not be able to respond to that. It remains an allegation, and an allegation needs to be tested. Once the gentleman that has alleged such and reported that to the law enforcement, then I think we'll take it from there and we will be able to respond.
This situation's been going on for quite a while, and I do need to ask you, Councillor, a political question. You represent a particular political party. That particular political party has been the sort of main party in power in Emfuleni for a long time. Who should voters hold responsible for what's happened?
All of us as political parties in the entire institutions.
Why all political parties? I mean, your political party's been the one that's been in office.
We're in a coalition government as we speak, Stephen. That is why I'm saying that all political parties that participate in council should be held responsible and accountable for whatever it is that happened in municipalities.
Even if they're not in the current coalition, they should be held responsible.
Yeah. You would remember that council decisions are taken by all political parties in council, represented in council, and that is why all of us should be responsible. Not only one party should be responsible.
Okay, so voters, if they want to hold people in Emfuleni responsible, it should be all of the councillors in the council now. I mean, are you seriously saying 2 years before a local government election that people in Emfuleni shouldn't vote for any of the councillors again?
That is not what I'm saying, but I'm saying to you that all of us representing council should be held responsible for some of the decisions that are taken in council.
Okay, so the council's been making bad decisions. Is that basically what you're confirming to me now?
Well, if we were to analyze and say that this was a council decision and it was wrong, then the council should be held responsible.
Councillor, thank you for your time. The member of the Mayoral Committee for Finance in the Emfuleni Municipality.